You're listening to the Livvy and Chrissie show here on BBC Radio Bristol with me, Chrissie. Now, our guest today, Grant Harold, the Royal Butler. Hello, Grant.
Good afternoon.
TV commentator extraordinaire and Britain's top etiquette expert, no less. Let me just say a bit about you. Former butler to the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall, and also the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. He's featured on TV many times in BBC Two's Country House series, in Be Your Own Boss on BBC Three. He was the butler in Channel 4's You Can't Get the Staff. And recently, Great Railway Journeys with Michael Portillo, Good Morning Britain, Royal Recipes. The list goes on and on. I mean, welcome back to our humble studio, Grant. Sorry, I got no Earl Grey for you today. I feel terrible.
Oh, really?
I
was looking forward to the Earl Grey, actually.
I know,
and the biscuits.
I've got no assistant. I just can't cope.
You're struggling.
I'm struggling. I haven't even got a water. I'm like, and you brought your doggies with you.
I have.
And,
yes.
And Jack.
And the doggies at the moment. Well, we've just got a puppy. There's who's only 9 weeks old, so can't quite leave her at the house at the moment. So
this is the cutest little thing. Was he her?
It's a her, and she's
name?
called Suro, which means rabbit. Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm already started training her in all things that are etiquette and manners.
Absolutely.
Got her sitting when it's meal times and know what time to have a meal and an afternoon tea. So we're getting there.
Are you? Well, you can come and do mine next, because he will sneak up and well, he won't even sneak up. He'll just come and take the food off his plate. I mean, appalling. He's got appalling manners, I'm afraid.
We'll have to do classes for dogs.
I know. No class. Well, no, you've been busy lately. You're always on TV when I put it on. Give us a roundup.
I've just been really lucky. I mean, as I keep saying to him, I do feel lucky and grateful that I've had so many amazing opportunities, and they seem to be increasing. And I even got to do my first bit of presenting for Rip Off Britain, which was on a few weeks ago, which was really exciting. And then I went undercover for the One Show with Tony Singh, where we were going around looking for doggy bags, or trying not to look for doggy bags, ideally. It's been an amazing couple of months. Just done some stuff with Yahoo, done an online etiquette guide for them, my top 8 tips, and then I've just brought my top 10 summer tips. So it's been
which we're going to go through in a minute.
But it's been an amazing few months, and it just seems to keep getting better.
Radio, Steve Wright,
absolutely. He was great fun. Good fun.
Absolutely
I love
great
Steve
fun.
Wright.
I know.
Yeah, no, that was talking about butlers, the world of butlers, and I think I was doing an edition as his butler.
Well, it's great. It's great to see you around. And you're here. Thank you so much.
I love coming in. Thank you for having me on. It's exciting to come back here.
There you go.
It's coming back home.
Now, summer. Why does it bring the worst out in us?
Oh, I don't know. And it's an interesting one, because we make all the kind of same mistakes year after year, no matter how many times I try saying to people, don't do this and don't do that. You still see them making those kind of similar mistakes. And I think the thing is, as I've always said, that in your own home, in your environment, you're king of the castle, queen of the castle. You can behave and do exactly as you want. But when you're in the company of others or somebody else's home, you've got to kind of be respectful and kind of go along with what might be their rules. And if they don't have any rules, fantastic, then one can have a nice time. But if they do have rules, then it's just kind of acknowledging them and being respectful.
But what if you don't know what their rules are?
Then you come to one of my classes.
Now, I'm going to bring out something. Socks. Socks. Because I've been going on about these socks, and because it kind of leads on from what you're saying, because certain places you seem to kind of act differently. Is it true that you feel that some sort of different norms don't apply? Because I was actually in Germany, right, for the weekend, and I found this pair of socks in a sale, in a market, and they were sort of stripy, sort of Bavarian, and I actually wore them, and I just felt like they looked great. And then halfway on the plane, on the way home, I looked down at my feet, and I nearly had a heart attack. I was like, I can't get off the plane looking like this.
Was it kind of red and white? Was it a bit like Where's Wally kind of socks? Was it those kind of obvious ones? The thing with socks are, I mean, of course, it's the certain times you wear them, the certain times you don't. Now, of course, in the summer, of course, we can get away with not wearing them, especially if you're wearing sandals or boat shoes. But the problem is, you get people for some reason that try to wear the socks with the sandals, and it just doesn't look good.
Do you know what? My husband, every year, I tell him I'm not going out with him wearing those socks and those sandals and those shorts.
Well done.
Well, no, he ignores me, obviously, because I'm not the boss of him. He does make a point. Even though I'm trying to stop him looking like a...
I mean,
anyway, but then, do you know what? I recently saw an article saying socks are fashionable. Long socks with shorts. Is that What can you do? No.
I think that it depends on what you're wearing and where you are, and it depends on the dress code. And I mean, again, with shorts, gentlemen that wear shorts, I mean, shorts are getting shorter, literally. I mean, sometimes you kind of wonder how short they're going to get. They'll turn into Speedos. So I think the thing is they've got to be a certain length. And the other thing I say to chaps, let's not take our tops off in public, because when you're walking around, and I'm not talking about the beach, I'm talking about walking down the high street, and there's a chap walking along looking very proud of himself with probably a bit of a beer belly, and I think he can hear the Baywatch music. In fact, I think he thinks he's in Baywatch. With the rest of us, we're looking at a scene from Crime Watch. But what can you do? What can we do?
Okay. One more question, then we're going to come on to your summer etiquette. Relatives, or friends, you're at a social gathering, you're out there, you had a few drinks, and then they've got different political, perhaps, views from you, or something contentious comes up. How do you handle it? If you don't say anything, you hate yourself later on, or you don't want to start a punch up, or how do you?
This is the problem. It is a minefield. It's a serious minefield. And how many times have we been in situations where you hear a conversation and you want to say something, but the little voice inside saying, "Don't say anything." Now, what I say is that when you're in someone's home, again, you go with the conversation that's taking place. Now, one of the kind of golden rules is we don't talk about sex, religion, politics and money.
Right.
The subjects that we can talk about are sex, religion, politics and money. Right. And what I'm saying is, again, in someone's home, if they wish to have a conversation about anything, by all means get involved in it, but I wouldn't get too in depth with the conversation, especially if it's one of the kind of politics or something similar, because you don't want to go and cause a family fallout or an upset. So it's kind of sitting on the fence, and if it becomes too serious, change the subject to the most safest thing, the weather.
Brilliant. The weather. Oh, thank God for the weather. Imagine if it was the same every day. Well, we would have nothing to talk about.
Well, it's true, but everyone loves talk about the weather. What's it doing today? Snowing in the summer, really?
Right. What are we coming on to now? Your top tips for getting through the summer with minimum embarrassment.
So I've got the kind of top 10, and the first one I've got: ladies, when out and about in the summer heat, may I suggest that you carry a parasol or an umbrella, but not one with BT Infinity on it. Something plain is best, perhaps white.
Right. Now,
you'll love this one: socks. Can we please avoid sandals and socks, and certainly not Crocs? I mean, Crocs, they're best left in the freshwater animal reserve. We don't. And flip-flops, it sounds like something from the local takeaway. Now, of course, the reality is with the summer months, I seriously do suggest linen clothes for daytime invitations, which are ideal for men and for the ladies. For gentlemen, a nice pair of chinos or corduroys with a linen shirt and jacket. And for the ladies, very simply, a daytime summer dress. But of course, it can be more difficult for the ladies.
Why?
Because, with invitations, when it states something for men, it can be a lot more, especially if it's like an evening thing, white tie, black tie. For the ladies, there's a whole array of what that could mean. So I always think it can be a bit more trickier for the ladies. So I kind of feel sorry for them.
Well, it's true. Do you know what? So much more is trickier for ladies.
I think so.
So you heard it from the Royal Butler himself. I mean, just anything, and any decision,
And remember, ladies will always carry the handbag in the left hand.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's so you've always got the right hand free for handshakes.
Oh, handshakes, is it? Not,
so
not for a drink.
No, well, depends on the time of day, Chrissie, but there you go. So amazing I know that, but it's amazing what I've all had to learn over the last couple of years. And remember, the very good colour is the white. It's white items, because it reflects the heat.
Okay.
An evening cocktail reception, I always say light summer clothes, tailored shirts or polo neck shirts are also suitable.
Oh, right, okay, yes. So far, so...
we doing okay?
Yeah, very, very, what's the word? Cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Shorts, again, this is what I was just saying a minute ago, that come to the knee or just above are not acceptable because we're not 5 years old. Therefore, we wear something more appropriate in length, and a good pair of boat shoes or sandals.
Ah, right. No socks. Okay.
Baseball caps. Oh, Lord. Right.
Yeah,
so no baseball caps at formal or informal events. We don't want to look like tourists. Therefore, a Pamela hat would be more appropriate. And for ladies, for men and ladies, they can wear some smart sun hats, but nothing too floppy. Those really floppy hats. We don't want anything like that.
Oh, no, nothing floppy.
Nothing floppy. Well done. And gentlemen, always remember, we remove hats when we go indoors, but ladies can keep them on until 6 p.m.
Ooh.
At which point you can put your tiara on, as long as you're married.
Right.
Because
I remember that.
So that's a very important rule, because if you don't wear the tiara, it means that you're not taken.
I think I might have been putting my tiara on a little bit late.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay.
I must quickly add there, I've actually got somebody on my Twitter who actually took the rule so seriously that now when she comes down for dinner with her and just her husband, she actually wears a tiara. I'm very proud of her.
Okay, very good.
Sunglasses. Now, they're becoming a fashion accessory.
I think I do this.
Okay, which they're not a fashion accessory. They're obviously protecting our eyes from the sunlight. Not from the light bulbs indoors. Therefore, can we remove them when we go inside? And ladies, that doesn't mean we place them on our heads. If you wish to keep the hair in place, then may I suggest you a hairband. And gentlemen, remove them totally, even if you are in James Bond.
I got Katie looking at Katie Brooks through the studio. She's laughing her head up with her sunglasses on her head.
Oh God, has she really?
Well, I got mine. I wear mine.
Such a shame we're not going to get to meet.
Is, they keep falling off my head as well, so it really is not a good look when you're scrabbling around trying to get them off the floor.
And I've also said, remember, we always remove sunglasses when we're talking to somebody. I mean, that's hopefully an obvious thing.
Is it?
Gentlemen, as I've just mentioned, we keep shirts on in public places such as the High Street. As you might consider yourself a Baywatch model, that's certainly not the case, because for the rest of us, we're looking at a scene from Crime Watch. Important rule and serious rule. Make sure that we wear plenty of sun lotion, because we don't want to look like one's overdone lobster.
One doesn't.
You might think you look quite good as a lobster, but for the rest of us, it's not a very good look, and it can also be very painful. Now, how often does this happen to all of us? When lying on a beach, we've got to be respectful to the other visitors. They might not appreciate the public displays of affection. And noisy children, I mean, we all love noisy children to an extent. So therefore, can we keep them under control, make sure there's no water getting thrown around, and being respectful of other people, especially the elderly couples that are there just having a quiet afternoon, who might not appreciate the kids running all over them. And
they may not.
No, you might end up with a bit of a situation.
We end up with one of those Barneys that we're trying to avoid. Yeah, exactly.
I can see myself having to do beach patrols this summer.
Baywatch.
Yes, actually, I could do, but with my top on. I assure you.
I assure you.
No, I don't know. Really, no. We'll be getting. If I take my top off and speedo, there'll be phone calls coming in from NASA. And lastly, no tissues on the head. I mean, why on earth are men, want to put, especially when they've got a shortage of hair, they're putting these kind of tissues on their head. I mean, handkerchiefs.
Not a good look.
No, not a good look.
A
handkerchief is supposed to be kept in obviously the breast pocket of your jacket. If you wish to put something in your on your head, can I suggest a hat?
You can.
Okay.
Well, if you haven't got a hat, you've got to do something. You don't want a lobster-looking.
Well, then go indoors and keep out the sun. Which is probably better for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
Watch one of my etiquette series.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all that wisdom with us. That was brilliant, and hopefully, we may avoid at least one embarrassing pitfall.
Okay. Well, now you've had that list, you'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure that's why Livvy's not here. She's probably hiding. She's probably thinking, I'm not going near him. Exactly. I'm not listening to any of these rules.
Exactly.
She's probably on a beach somewhere getting the rays.
Now you're starting to do headlines for me, and Katie Brooks is going to join us as well. That's why she's outside the studio coming in, listening to the Livvy and Chrissie show with me, Chrissie, on BBC Radio Bristol. And it's headline time, and I'm joined by the Royal Butler, Grant Harold. Hello, Grant.
Hello, Chrissie.
And also Katie Brooks, who's cuddling a puppy.
Very distracted by it right now.
Right, let's get going. For those of you who know the show, we've been hunting, we've been trawling, searching. Chrissie, Grant, Katie, to find these headlines, to tickle your fancy, to inspire you, to outrage you even, you never know, in the papers this week. So Grant, what has caught your eye?
I absolutely love this. Yap of luxury, the £170,000 dog kennel. So if your dog is fed up roughing it, then this could be just the thing. For a mere 170,000, you can get your very own mutt. I think I'll rephrase that. Your very own dog, its own mansion. The dog manners can be fitted with a treat dispenser and conference calling system, and even a thermostat. Now, conference calling, I think that's a fantastic idea. Have to get one.
Do you want one?
Yes,
you want one
definitely.
Of these?
I'm going to go and get one after this.
But I want one for me.
What, for you to live in? Yeah, that sounds sensible. Up for 170,000, why not? We can all move in.
What about you, Kate? Do you look like you want one for you two to live in?
I do. I'm about to leave now. We're going to go and find ourselves somewhere to live together.
There's
you won't see us again.
About to happen, I can see. Okay, all right. Well, look, for all us doggy people who probably can't afford 170,000, but let's have a bit of Pinky and Perky. How much is that dog?
Oh! I mean, it's that.
How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I read in the papers there are robbers with flashlights that shine in the dark. My love needs a doggy to protect him and scare them away with one bark. I don't want a bunny or a kitten. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishes. He can't take a goldfish for walks. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do want that doggy. I do love that doggy. I do hope that doggy's for sale.
Right, all together now. Woof, woof. Do you know what, Gran, you said they were going to bark when I brought them in the studio, and they've been good as gold.
Well, Katie normally is quite quiet, aren't you?
Normally, I mean, occasionally I bark, but I'm
I'm
not feeling it today.
Oh dear.
No, they've been very good. They've been very good today.
Now, Katie, what have you got?
Oh, something I really relate to. 30 signs your life's too hectic, which just made me laugh when you gave this to me. So I was like, yeah. This rings a bell. So Britons are using more and more shortcuts to keep up with a busy lifestyle, a survey has found. Half the population complain about how it is becoming increasingly difficult to juggle work and family responsibilities. Ordering takeaway food, buying ready sliced vegetables and grated cheese, and eating late are some of the most corner-cutting ways used. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, to be quite frank.
To be honest, that sounds like you're just a bit lazy.
Like a regular... Thanks, Chrissie. It's just a regular Tuesday for me. But there's the top 30. It's quite funny. The ones that sort of got me were using dry shampoo instead of washing hair. I did that this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks lovely. Look at all.
Well, thanks. You see it works.
Beautiful golden tresses.
So, I mean, emailing while watching TV, I mean, I've done that for years. That's just my life.
Yeah.
Eating breakfast on the daily commute. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a daily commute, but I often eat breakfast on the go, eating dinner at 10 p.m. Yeah.
Apply makeup on public transport?
Always.
Go on.
That's
How about you?
Dinner at 10 p.m. I mean, dinner.
No.
I mean, that's supper. That's not dinner. And eating breakfast on the train.
Oh no, our etiquette expert is outraged.
Can't we actually sit down at the dining room table at 8 o'clock in the morning and have a proper breakfast made to the butler?
It makes the train fun if you're eating and drinking coffee.
I think it'd be a disaster going along at speed.
There's an etiquette.
Have breakfast.
Barney going on here. I better put a track on quick. Here we go. This is good advice. The Eagles. Take it easy.